I do have like an announcement before we're making this video. The first announcement is like Evercade did send me this in for purpose for a review. But there is another thing I just want to like give a shout out to. I just want to give like a big shout out to Zucker Omi. It's beside the point also like a very long viewer of my channel, a member of the Wicked family like many of you, but she made like the possibility to come in contact with Evercade and give me the opportunity to make a review for the guys. The first edition was a quite interesting piece of technology. To be honest, after like a year or so, it did feel a little bit outdated. But what do I mean with outdated? You know, like with the invasion of all these like handhelds coming out, this were some things with the Evercade I didn't really like after a year or so, simply because when you're looking at other brands releasing beautiful IPS handhelds. So they releasing this new version, the EXP, with a lot of new cool features, was like something that I already expected for some time. Another item I really liked, and you should like check out the video after this one if you've never seen it, the Evercade VS. This was basically like the game system I bought, like there was a full bundle with 2 controllers and some extra games. I think it's pretty damn cool. So basically you have games to play on the go, but also can plug it into a console. So one of the changes I was personally really excited for is that it comes with built-in games, but not like your typical games that we've seen before, 8-bit, 16-bit stuff. No, we're actually going to get ourselves real arcade stuff with my favorite Capcom titles. So retro gaming leveled up. I must say I really love the presentation of the product itself. And also the product is slightly different. It's going to be a little bit similar to the one that we have seen before, but also we do have like some, let's say, it's wider. Let's put it that way. It's quite wide. But they made some significant, like say, changes when it comes to the older model versus the newer one. So to begin with, like, they changed like some things out when it comes to the overall layout. But let's do a quick peek to the older model and just do a side-by-side comparison. The older model itself is way smaller than the new one. So it's just going to be a completely redesigned, but also in different levels. So first of all, when you're looking at the D-pad, they're still having like the same kind of style D-pad. Only I must say it does feel different. We do have like the 4 buttons over here, the A, B, X, Y. Then we have it over here to select the start. They still have it over here. We have the menu button. They basically moved it from the left to the right, and for a good reason. We do have like an extra A and B button over here. And the reason why, you can just play your shmups this way. And I think that is so a cool extra feature. So you can basically rotate your handheld and just play it like that. That is something that is very unique to this handheld. Where we have the older model, we have like this very thin plastic front glass. It's, when I say scratch sensitive, but still it's like feeling a little bit cheap. And with the newer model they did absolutely improve it with a different one. So also at the top part we do have like more buttons now. In total we're going to get 8, or better said like 4 at the front and basically like 4 at the top. Where we old model we only have like 2 of them. Was more than enough for most games, that is just a fact. We have like a slider on and off switch over here for the older model, and for the newer you need to hold it in here. And we also both have like an HDMI out. At the bottom we're going to get ourselves like the volume control. There's like to just have like a completely redesign, where like the older version have like more buttons that lay in the system itself. With the new one we're going to get one that sticks a little bit out, and it's way easier to press, but not to the point that you're going to like press it accidentally, because they have placed it very well. Over here we have like the Type-C connection for charging, and we also have a headphone jack out, and of course the button for switching between the 2 modes, vertical and basically like the landscape mode. But we're not done with the unboxing yet, because under in here we're going to find ourselves like an extra arcade cartridge. How freaking cool is that? So we do have like a very nice looking cable. There is no power supply, so we need to buy that separately. So here we have like the manual that basically shows every single game that's on here. So basically normally you're going to get these manuals, and I think like with the original games in the, let's say, the case itself. But unfortunately we don't have a case for the Capcom games because they're built in. Nevertheless, we're also having the ERIM Arcade #1 that comes with a lot of familiar games like R-Type and In the Hunt. And not to forget, of course, we do have like the quick start guide. So let's boot up the system and let's see what we're going to get with actually booting it up. So I must say that I was really excited to test the thing out. Over here you can see like the green light is basically like giving you the indication that it's going to be booting it up. That is really cool. So when booting up the system, this is actually what you're going to get. It will show that there's no cartridge inside because we don't have like a cartridge implemented. So then we're going to go to settings, and here we do have like a couple of things we can change out. For example, the display. You have like the aspect ratio can be changed, and this is something that I really love like with the Evercade devices. We have even like some shader scan lines that we can implement in our games, and we even like extra bezels if you want to have like an aspect ratio by 4:3. So that's the thing that basically I think Evercade is like familiar or basically like famous for. They have like so many cool things you can change out. Let's choose the blue. Yep. We can just change this out. I didn't update it. I just wanted to check it out how it is launched from the beginning. If you're going to connect it with the internet, basically what you're going to get yourself is going to have like an option to update it through the internet. Ooh, enter a secret code. So when choosing the EXP mode, here we're having the Capcom games, some hidden games, and of course Evercade coming soon. Oh yeah. But nevertheless, we just choose the Capcom games, and here we have like the games that are already pre-installed on the device itself. I think it's a pretty damn cool deal. We're going to get ourselves like a couple of games, and not like the shitty ones that we have seen with some of the devices in the past, not from Evercade but other companies. You're just going to get some pretty damn good titles if you ask me. Strider, a lot of games that we have like played a gazillion times. 1944, I recently like finished that game on a different device like the Capcom arcade stick, but doesn't matter, I never get tired of these things. So let's boot one up and give you like an idea like how fast this thing will load up. Okay, so we have like enter into the shmup mode. So let's go this way. So you can see like nothing can be used like this, simply because you need to. Okay, at the top you need to press select and press start over here. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to try out is like the audio quality itself. So I can tell you this thing goes quite loud. It's not like supreme or superb, but it is loud enough if you ask me. So let's press the T over here. Let's switch back to the different mode. And we can just like switch super fast between the two modes. Another cool feature is that we have like a quick load, quick save option. Another thing is like we can even like go into the display settings if you want to. You can like change out the pixel perfect, full screen, everything if you want to do in quick, like say swapping it out. I think it's pretty damn cool. You don't need to go all the way back to the freaking like say menu. Here we have like the controls. Another cool feature is you're pressing the three dots over here. Here we have like the coin limit. So what you can do basically is like set up to a certain like coin limit, competition mode. You know, like there are some extra key features to this thing to give you like more like a challenge. So this is actually a game that should be played like this. So of course you can just press the T and go back like this. But yeah, again, see, like it doesn't really look great. So in my opinion, let's try a shmup that utilizes the screen like this the best. Like I mentioned before, like it's not super comfortable because yeah, it's quite a weight you're basically carrying with this handheld. And again, you don't have like the wide handheld fully in your hand. And I mean with this, when you're going to put them in the different mode, you're holding it like this. This is so much more comfortable to play for a long time. The next thing I wanted to try out is the D-pad. Okay, so I really love this floating D-pad stuff, but it's actually playing well when you're going to play some Street Fighter. And I can tell you, it's absolutely a big pass when it comes to playing some Street Fighter on this thing. But how is it if you just want to play some old school games? One of my favorite games to play is Xenocrisis. I basically bought this game for every system, like the Mega Drive, like Steam. I don't know what's wrong with me, you know, I really don't know. So the thing is, I just wanted to see if we can actually play it on here. So, and that's one of the features that I think is pretty damn cool. You can just play your older games on here without any problem. And it looks, of course, so much better. But let's do a quick side-by-side comparison with the Xenocrisis game. And how will this play, but also like look on the, let's say, older version. So yeah, I already mentioned like it's not a non, or it's just like really not a beautiful IPS display that we're having like in the new model. You can see like a significant difference also when it comes to the color. So that is something I just wanted to try out for you guys. Just to show you how absolutely amazing this new display looks. Because of the aspect ratio, they implemented some extra bezels. The things that you can change out, that is one thing to be sure. Another thing I wanted to try is like the audio quality. So basically this is the loudest it can go. Let's crank up the volume of the second one, or the EXP. It goes slightly a little bit louder. It basically like overrules the older one. You can just hear it clearly, like how loud the new one is. Let's play with the older one first. And don't get me wrong, like the older one plays very nice. Like it just feels comfortable. It's always like a little bit light, just a little bit lighter when it comes to the weight. Okay, so let's get ourselves like the second one over here. Let's play another stage. The D-pad feeling is just as great like the first model. Especially when you're listening to the audio, it's like the sound effects are so more noticeable now. Absolutely amazing. Both have no cartridge in the inside, so let's get ourselves like the older version. This weighs 280 grams. So the new version with 274 grams. It's a minor difference, but you do notice it when holding it, and not in a bad way. So when doing this comparison with the old and new one, the reason I want to implement it in this video is just to show you like how big of a difference it is. So the EXP is absolutely like the king when it comes to the display and of course of the audio, and it comes with so much more, let's say, features. So when it comes to upgrading, if you have like an older one and you really enjoyed it, I think you will even more enjoy the EXP in my opinion. Alright, so let's do a quick unboxing of the other cartridge. I just wanted to check it out for you guys. I'm not going to test all of them because there are too many of these cartridges with the kit. And I'm just going to be honest, like I was really curious about the arcade stuff, not the Commodore 64 stuff. If you don't mind, I'm just going to leave the EXP over here with the game like running because it's a pretty damn cool soundtrack. The ERAM Arcade 1. So yeah, I really love that they're going into this route, like finding some like different new kind of cool games to add to the collection. And arcade, oh boy, I'm a big arcade fan. So when you're having these games, it's going to be so much fun like collecting them. But also like I'm curious, like will they go to like places like PlayStation? How cool would it be if you have like a Tekken collection or something like that? That would be like the next level shizzle. But yeah, here like R-Type, and this is like the old school stuff. Oh, there's one thing I needed to test out. Oh yeah. Oh, that paper smells so nice. Oh, like the old school ones, you know, like it smells like fresh new paper. Not the toilet paper stuff that we get from China. Okay, so what I love about like the tiny manuals, it explains how the game works. You know, this is just like one of the part of the nostalgia vibe that we had with the old school Mega Drive games, Super NES games. So cool. So nevertheless, let's try some games. Let's plug it in. Let's reboot this bad boy. And, or be reboot. We don't need to reboot. We just need to shut it down. Shut down. Yes, shut down. Like slide it in. I said slide it in. Oh, there we go. Wow, that was tight. Alright, so let's see what kind of games where we're actually going to get with this. 10-yard fight, battle chopper, get to the chopper, in the hunt, lightning sword. So there are like a little bit more games on here than I thought. Moon Patrol and of course R-Type. Okay, one other thing I wanted to show you, if you want to put it in Tete mode or Tete mode, I don't know how I'm going to announce it correctly, but if you like to upload them in shmup mode, you need to press the button. Here you can see like it shows Tete, and basically it's like that is the way it will be booting up automatically, but we don't need it because we're going to play R-Type. R-Type doesn't need it, no, not at all. Okay, it's pretty damn cool that it just also shows us the boot up screen like it should be, with like basically an original arcade mainboard. It's going to be challenging filming. You can see like the reflection over here. And also for shmups, it plays very comfortable. And of course, one of the awesome features these things have is like an HDMI. I must say, like an HDMI functionality, we will see it more often when it comes to handhelds in general. But again, I think it's just a great addition. Like the previous game, it shows like the real boot up screen of the PCB. Right, that added some coins. In too deep. Stage 1, the South Pole. Let's go. I must say this game got some amazing soundtracks. Personally, they did a really great job with the Evercade EXP, bringing something new to the table. Of course, we're spoiled in this invasion of handhelds, and I mean like not particularly only like Evercade, but when you're looking at the Evercade, the older model, and the new model, they did like a significant upgrade in many different ways, what I already talked about in this video. Let me know in the comments what do you think in general about Evercade. I really love the collectible stuff with the cartridges, and nowadays with the Evercade bringing some arcade stuff to the table, I think it's going to be even more interesting for me and new people. Curious where this is going to be leading us, hoping to get some more stuff. I already mentioned before, like PlayStation 1 or something like that, if the thing is powerful enough to run it. Nevertheless, thanks for watching, consider subscribing, hit the little bell, and it will be great to see you in the next video.